bookmark the page, now we flipping the script, taking a detour. Let the convo drift, Keri and Rich with a mental stretch, talking about whatever, ain't no catch. Deep dives to random flips, brain snacks served with some unscripted tips. It's not the book, but the break's legit. Catching that vibe, just a little side hit. Just a little side hit.
All right, are we live? Because I don't want to repeat a last week. You're still on mute. You have one job.
Yes, we are live. We are not Memorex.
All right, good.
We are lolly-dabbing. Lolly-dabbing.
We are lolly-dabbing. We are coordinated with our tie-dye shirts today, which we did not necessarily plan. There you go.
Patches.
Don't forget to check out Allie Patches and Wes's stream. I don't know. Do you have the link for that?
I can find it while you're dinking around doing stuff that's not important.
While we're dinking around doing stuff that's not important. Well, as you can see, I have a friend here. More than a friend. I have a daughter here today. So this is kind of our surprise side quest. Richard doesn't know why my daughter's here. Do you know why you're here, Abby?
Kinda, yeah.
Kinda. Okay, she volunteered. I'm not holding her hostage, folks. I promise. I promise I'm not holding her hostage. But this is her first live stream, so give her all the love. Robbie's already said hi to you.
Hello.
In the chat. So yeah, what are we doing? We are going to be talking about some things. Now, I know we're not like officially like a mental health stream, and none of us are qualified to diagnose or give any sort of advice in the mental health sphere. Is that mental health arena?
Except for me telling you that I'm fucking crazy. But beyond that, no.
Well, I mean, we can talk about ourselves however we want, I guess.
That's the truth. But only that.
But Abby has been on this journey. And, you know, we're kind of thinking about maybe doing our own show, the two of us, kind of going forward. So we're doing a little test run here. So this can be found at the Rich New Design, which is where you could probably find all the information to get a hold of Allie, which is who made Richard.
Allie's is coming next.
Oh, Allie's is coming next. Okay. Well, that's the lovely shirt that Richard is wearing today. So I'm using my mouse.
The art
Nobody on the stream can see my mouse, Abby. But just so you know, Richard, I'm pointing at your shirt with my mouse, even though nobody can see it on that side. We're nothing but professionals here, right?
We know what we're doing.
We know what we're doing. Well, I mean, you're new, but Richard and I, we know what we're doing, right, Uncle Dude?
Yeah. I just smile at her. I was going to type some words, but then something happened. I got all distracted.
All right. Well, okay. So you have a good job. I love your job too.
Well, it's exciting. What kind of a stream? I mean, if we're going to talk about what you guys are, that's exciting news. What are you guys thinking about maybe doing?
Well, like I said, we kind of want to talk about our journey. Abby, did you have any sort of expectations on what you kind of wanted to?
Well, so mostly talking about, I think, like my OCD and borderline personality disorder, and just kind of like how I've been able to navigate life with that, and like just things that I've found that help me and things that don't help me, things I've realized, and that kind of stuff.
Excellent.
So
that's really cool. I would like to hear that from somebody, because I was thinking myself, now this means you're really smart, not me. So it's not me taking credit for but a couple of days ago, I thought about that very same thing. Because I struggle with OCD. I don't, not the borderline personality. I just do that shit on purpose. But the OCD is very real for me. And I thought about, maybe I could just go on and talk to people about how that affects me. What's OCD like? Because I never hear anybody talking about, they talk about how bad it is, or maybe what the thing is, or one of the things, because sometimes it's more than one. So that would be very, very interesting for me to hear. And I would definitely participate in listening in the chat, and that would be amazing.
Or you hear about people wishing they had a little bit of OCD, which is
I just don't think people quite understand what even OCD is at all.
But people that say that do not understand. It's not something you have control over. You don't have a little bit of OCD or some OCD. You either have OCD and it happens when it happens, or you don't. I mean, in a nutshell, that's oversimplification, but yeah, you don't want OCD.
Yeah.
Do you maybe
organizational skills? That's what you want. Organizational skills, not OCD.
You want some organizational skills. You want good time management, so you remember to clean your house, things of that nature.
You have to be really good at managing your OCD for it to be a strength. And like, I don't think I've met really anybody who is that good, because I think honestly OCD really is like intrusive thoughts that then ruminate and you just can't get them out of your head. Like, and that's what I've kind of realized, and that's what gives me a lot of anxiety, because that's another thing that I really struggle with, is really severe anxiety. And a lot of that has rooted from my OCD and both my BPD, because my OCD, like the intrusive thoughts, I'd have intrusive thoughts and then they would repeat and I would ruminate on them, and then it would just give me anxiety, and I would have the urge to do things that didn't make sense to try and soothe it, like washing my hands or things like that, like of that nature. And then with my BPD, it was the mood swings that I would have that would cause, I would have a mood swing and not know what to do with that mood swing. And then I would just melt down and have a panic attack. So yeah, I think I have some pretty useful insights on both of those topics.
Well, and let's talk a little bit about, like, I as your mom who lives with you, I wouldn't necessarily say that you're somebody who washed their hands a lot to make you easy to identify as somebody with OCD. So like, tell me a little bit about what it takes to maybe hide the OCD, and like maybe take us back a little bit to where you kind of realized that those behaviors were, like, how did you control it to the point that we didn't necessarily know that it was happening inside of your head in that way?
I think I used a lot of variety of different coping skills and ways, because like I wasn't just washing my hands. Like I would like go through phases of doing things, like whether it was lining something up for a week straight or just doing little things like that so that people wouldn't necessarily notice. Like I just used a variety of different things, like the hand sanitizer thing. I like the smell of hand sanitizer. It soothes my anxiety, and like it's something that I can kind of do without even sometimes me realizing that I'm doing it. So I think that's how I've been able to like hide a lot of it throughout my life, is just by using so many different ways to cope.
I myself, that's very affirming for me, because as I was having this thought the other day, one of the things I thought about is everybody thinks about OCD as a thing, like I count, but I don't always count. If I'm pouring water into my coffee thing in the morning, I count. I don't know why I count, but I can't not do it. When I try to not count, when I do that activity, it creates stress for whatever reason. I'm not trying to explain it. It's just the way it is. But it's also sometimes doing projects and sitting down and doing stuff like that. I'll go through times where I'll just do them over and over and over and over again, or I'll put something together and then I'll take it apart and look at it again and make sure I did it right. And then I'll put it together again, and then I'll take it apart again because I'm still not sure. because I can't see it. It's a compulsion, and it's not always the same thing. So I think that's a very apt description.
Yeah, and I think too, like ADHD, because like I think I have ADHD too, and I think that mixed with OCD might have something to do with it, of just not doing the same things really quite over and over again. But like I do the same things over and over again.
I hadn't thought about that. She gets distracted from the thing that she was doing.
Yeah,
to soothe the OCD.
Yeah.
So OCD, when we say it all together, it's obsessive compulsive disorder. So the obsession is something that happens like internally, and the compulsion is the thing that resolves. Is what resolves that obsession, right?
Yeah.
And it's not always something that you see, because you were telling me the other day about how, like, with the intrusive thoughts. Well, first of all, give us an example of an intrusive thought that you have.
For like example, when I'm driving, like I have a lot of anxiety while driving because I have this intrusive thought that just repeats of like cars crushing into me, glass coming at me, metal going into me. Like I just have a constant intrusive thought of being in a car accident, and it just repeats over and over again. And now that I've kind of recognized that is an intrusive thought, it's taken a lot of the power away from it. But that's an intrusive thought, because it's like the probability of that happening is probably little to none, and it's just an intrusive thought.
And from the way that you were just describing it, it's not like a sentence in your mind. It's like a visual of those things happening to you.
Yes, exactly.
So it's very real.
I'm sorry, go ahead, finish yours.
Well, I was just going to say, we've talked a lot about this channel, about the power of our brains and the way that our brains can show us things. And so when you are, and the way our brains believe the reality that it creates, right? So when you're visualizing your windshield coming in, shards of glass towards you, or metal coming towards you, it's not like you're just imagining it. Your brain actually thinks it's happening in that moment.
Yeah.
Right?
Like I'll start shaking, even I'll and start having like pretty much a panic attack, and it's like my body is trying to respond to something that isn't even happening.
And then you've also described where, like, sometimes like your brain, in order to deal with that sort of trauma of living in this visual,
oh yeah, like I'll kind of go numb too,
disassociate, and then she panics because she's like, what if I do something with my hands, but I can't feel my body anymore because I've disassociated, in order to be able to divide yourself from the thought that is happening that you can't get rid of.
It's self-protection, self-preservation. I mean, you can't. I have seen my kids die in fiery crashes because they called me 10 minutes late. And it's not worrying about my kids dying in a car crash. It's this gory, larger than life vision of seeing everything happening. And it's there. It just, I call it a movie in my head. When I was reading 100%. Books for pleasure, that's great. But when you're talking about something that you don't want to happen, or somebody that you care about being hurt, that is a whole different wash of garbage that comes over. I concur very much so.
Yeah. And something that's helped me, I think, a lot, because like I've started kind of doing EDM. I'm not quite doing EDMR yet in therapy, but I've started it. And part of it is, I think it's called bilateral tapping, but it's just tapping like alternate like sides of your body, like whether it's your feet, your fingers, your hands, whatever it is. And that has helped me a lot, just staying grounded, because it's like you're switching from sides of your brain that you're using, and it like helps soothe you. Like there's a whole science behind how it soothes you.
What it probably does is it reconnects kind of the parts of your brain again, the halves, your logic, like the hemispheres, right? So like
cognizance returns with that interruption, because I can promise you there isn't any cognizance when the movie's running. in that contents. There's no there's no reasoning. Oh well, that's not ever going to happen, or the odds,
or the chances of that happening. You can't logic yourself out of it.
You can try, but the one thing that I found most effective is being able to do that and just kind of ground myself and like stop thinking about it. Like,
now there's something else that you had told me that helps, and it probably doesn't help when it's happening, but were you mentioning it in the context of it helping to kind of keep some of the intrusive thoughts away? Kind of like, you know, when you start a fire in order to keep a fire from progressing.
Yeah.
Right. So
you make a fire line to stop the fire that's heading towards said fire line. Yeah, I get it.
Right. So, and you had mentioned this, it's repeating words that are fun.
Oh, that's more like when I'm laying in bed and like there's nothing I can really do to like soothe myself really, and like I want to go to sleep, like I'll find words and I'll just kind of repeat those over and over again in my head. Like we were talking about a moosh boosh or whatever it was.
Well, it doesn't matter because you used a moosh boosh when you say it, but we were talking about a moose boosh, which is something but her brain latched onto that word because that word's fun and it's novel for you. And it seems like it has to be kind of like a word. It's not like the. It has to be just like a phrase or a word that is novel.
Right. It's almost it's whimsical almost. The way the phrase is said, it's almost like a whimsical thing to say.
Yeah. But that's not necessarily for like the movies. That's for like the intrusive thoughts. Like I'll have intrusive thoughts that like I need to get married and have children like right now, and like I'm not ready for that at all. And like it'll make me want to do impulsive things, like, you know, text a bunch of guys and like get in a relationship with the first one that's willing, you know, and that's not healthy, of course. So like that's kind of what I use that for, is not the necessarily intrusive thoughts that are pictures, I guess. It's just intrusive thoughts.
Excellent. You have some very, very good tools in your box. I might put a couple of them in mine.
Yeah, and it's one of those things too. I think when she was, well, I mean, describe your life like a year and a half ago.
I was having a really hard time, like my OCD, because I have trichotillomania too, that is like attached to my OCD. And so like I had ripped all my eyebrows out. I had bald spots that I had ripped out, and like I had quit my job. I went from living like by myself, like paying all my own bills with roommates and all of that, to I quit my job, had to move back in with my mom, and like I was kind of door dashing, but then it got to the point where I couldn't even door dash. And so it's been rough, and there's been a couple times where I just didn't even know what to do. Like there was even a point in time, like I went and had myself, I guess, I don't know what you'd call it, but I went to a facility for 7 days for my anxiety, just because I couldn't live with my anxiety anymore.
Yeah.
I'm going to say hi to Jimmy C.
Hey,
hi,
Jimmy C. Welcome. Good to see you, my friend.
And I can't tell if Robbie says that he's buffering because of what we're saying, or if we're buffering, or who's buffering. But
I didn't notice any buffering on my end, but that can all be relative to wherever you are. There can be a million reasons for buffering, as long as it doesn't keep happening.
Or maybe like sometimes my brain
watch
just
the replay.
buffers.
It won't buffer in the same place.
Maybe sometimes my brain will just buffer if I'm taking in information that blows my mind, right?
Well, we got to get the logo on the screen, and the one that's a little spinny, its wheel.
Buffering. Yeah. So, Abby, would you say that, and I think we've kind of had this talk, but I don't know, maybe I haven't actually said it out loud to you, but do you think that, because you also are dealing with germ stuff too, when you first come to live with me, and like we were going through a lot of shower products.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Like I would have a really hard time showering. It was like I would get in the shower and just like I couldn't get out. Like I just felt like I either didn't get all the dirt off, or I didn't get all the soap off, or like that sorts of thing. And which I think is like a contamination OCD that I was really struggling with. Because then it also too ended up being food, and food ended up being a really big problem, which I don't really, it's hard for me from my perception, I guess, to know how that really went, but
Poorly.
yeah.
It went poorly. Like, well, I know that when she was paying her bills and stuff, like she literally wouldn't feed herself because she was freaked out, so freaked out about getting a bad credit score that she wouldn't feed herself. She would pay all her bills first, which
Pay all bills
Yeah.
first before you
which
food. Yeah.
again, these are like behaviors that if you didn't know Abby and you didn't see her dropping all the weight and like had her
Yeah, you
OCD
would
not
never know.
manifested into the trichotillomania, and even once she moved in, like, and we kind of knew this, like the long showers and stuff, like I didn't know how to help her with that other than try to tell her it's okay, you're fine. But like that's
Mhm.
not really helpful,
No.
being told that
Mhm.
you're fine.
It's,
Because, like,
it's supportive. It's you trying to be supportive, but it's
Yeah.
not a helpful kind of supportive because it doesn't alleviate anything for the person that's suffering. In this case, we're talking about Abby, but yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. And she would always think that she had something on her head. I'd always have to look and I'd be like, well, I see something that's really small, but it looks really normal. Like I couldn't tell,
Yeah.
I couldn't just tell you like, no, there's nothing there.
Yeah.
Because whenever I tried that, it was like
Mhm.
no, there's something there. I can feel it, Mom. I can
Yeah.
feel the thing on my scalp. I can feel it. Can't you see it? Look, it's right there. And so I'd be
Yeah.
like,
Mhm.
well, I mean, I see something, but it's not big enough to be
Yeah.
concerning.
Jack. Yeah, that is
No.
a tough one. I don't see now I don't want to call it suffering, but
It's
what
suffering.
I go through,
It's suffering. It's okay to call it suffering because
it pales in
hard.
comparison. Well, because right now I'm struggling. I'm comparing me to her. See, in
Yeah.
my own brain, and what I have to deal with is not fun. It's not a pleasant experience, but it's so much less than Abby has to deal with. That it's like, and I'm not trying to minimize my thing. I'm just trying. That's where my brain is making this comparison between us because I don't have to deal with any of these other things that she has to take and do other steps and look for other
Mhm.
solutions. Mine stops at basically my movies and my countings and the behaviors that I have that I can't stop doing, but none of them are truly self-destructive or harmful in any way. It might take up some more of my time because I'm retired. It's nothing affects my job, that kind of thing. So there's a lot less on the line for me. So I'm
Yeah.
putting myself kind of in her shoes, although I can't imagine many of the things that you're talking about, Abby.
Yeah.
I know that they would be very unpleasant, but I can't imagine what you go through.
Well, and I think the only reason too that like I've gotten to this point is just the extensive amount of research of just little thing. Like I found hypochlorous acid, which has really helped me. It's like it's like a sanitizer, but it's like so like healthy
and
it's like
mild.
Yeah, you could pretty much eat it and be fine. And I will, if I'm really feeling like freaked out about something, I will just spray it with that and it makes me feel better. So
Well,
Awesome.
and I think that like the trichotillomania and the aphid, I think it was a lot worse when you weren't really dealing with the OCD and then the borderline personality disorder on top of it. So the problem with being intelligent and having these issues, not that you're not, Richard, but the problem with being, but not everybody is really self-aware, right?
It's hard to express the intelligence is how I feel. Like I feel like intelligent, but it's hard to like actually articulate what I have to say. And if you know what I mean,
Well,
like
because you have to have 75 different thoughts before you can say the thing.
yeah, exactly. And like my OCD too, it depends, like it's very stress induced too. Like depends on what I have going on and if I'm stressed out. Like if I'm stressed out, my OCD is
And that's where I was going with that though, is the borderline personality disorder and the OCD were like
Mhm.
perpetuating the stress.
Yes.
And that's why I think that like the trichotillomania came out.
Mhm.
Why the aphid, which is the gagging reflex, and the food
Mhm.
situation that you were dealing with,
Mhm.
where basically she was
Yes.
anorexic, but she wanted to eat, but she couldn't eat because stuff would just like
certain just like textures or like chicken, like
Mhm.
I would be scared of chicken, like I would want to eat chicken, but like just the thought of it would make me want to gag.
because salmonella,
Yeah, salmonella.
which
Right.
everybody should be concerned about chicken and salmonella. But
Yeah.
but describe to us like the difference between being concerned about it and then having it do something.
Having like a fear of salmonella, like I don't, because I have a fear of salmonella, like I don't know, I'll be thinking about it when I'm not even having anything to do with chicken, like it'll just be a fear. So, and I think that's too where like a lot of the contamination OCD comes from.
My daughter dealt
And it
with
just-
that when she was younger. Now she doesn't now. She is much, wow, you
Buffering.
closed up. Yeah, you're buffering really bad right now.
Yeah, there must have been a grasshopper that farted. Our little one of the dogs farted, I'm sure.
Something happened. My
Yeah,
cat
it
did
just
that the other day.
it
Oh
dropped
my
really
God.
suddenly and really quickly. But we're back.
Yeah.
We're back, folks. We're
We're
back.
back. It's all good.
So I've always kind of been a hippie mom. Have I
Mhm.
not?
Yeah.
A hippie mom. And so like medications wouldn't necessarily be the first thing that I would go to.
No, like we were born at home. Like we were born at home, like on, I think, in your bedroom, like with a midwife. Like, yeah, I don't think we got vaccinated when we were, I think, turned 13 because you just didn't want to put all that medication and stuff in a baby, which I can understand that.
Yeah. Also, I wouldn't have been able to come in contact with my kids because some of the vaccinations are live vaccinations and I wasn't vaccinated. So it was like a whole thing. We just waited. But it's very satisfying to take like a 14-year-old girl and give her all the shots and then one in her ass too. So she's just like, because at that point they're kind of
Bad day. Oh my God.
they're kind of assholes and like
bad day.
Yeah,
And
that
then
day sucked.
I'm like, well, you kind of deserve that.
Yeah.
You've been vaccinated for everything known to man. Yeah, I can feel it. Yep.
Yeah.
All in one day, all in one sitting, because mom is an asshole. Only
Well,
because
they do the same
teenagers are
thing. They do
assholes.
the same thing to you when you're going to go into military and deploy.
Yeah.
You get all the shots right now. Doesn't matter. It just, you get them all.
Mhm.
If you get sick,
Yep.
oh well, just throw up out the window of the plane. It's not my problem. Here's your shot.
Here's your shots. But again, it's not like you don't feel all that crap when you're a baby. You just don't get to bitch about it. So
Mhm.
I waited till she was old enough to bitch about it and me to laugh at her and be like, deal with it.
Mhm. Yeah.
If you get
Deal
to that
with it.
point, it's going to be a very good place to be.
Well, I think it honestly benefited. Like, I think it allowed my immune system to actually build, like, on its own.
I agree.
So, like,
I agree.
I appreciate it. I'm glad she did it that way.
Well,
My
and
grandchildren were all born in a hospital, but none of them have been vaccinated on my son's side
Mhm.
because exactly the same. They're not anti-vaccination, but
Yes.
why do we need to give 99 inoculations to a baby that's 12 days old?
Yeah, exactly.
and she did have a little bit of her own agency. Like, even though I make the joke that I did it to her because she was an asshole teenager, the fact of the matter is, like, we talked about it, and it was something that she also was like, yes,
She
let's
also
do this.
Let's do this.
So like, I think that there's some agency to it. I mean, like, if we're not going to assign sexes to people at birth and let them choose their own, like,
Mhm.
male or
Mhm.
female, let's let them choose when they get vaccinated.
Mhm.
as well.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm-
if we can
I'm
make that
perfectly
leap in
fine with
society
that.
to that, like, let's make this other leap too. Again, not anti-vax. YouTube, do not take us down. We are not
Mhm.
talking about anti-vaxxing.
Mm-mm.
We are talking about agency and choice.
Mhm.
Yes, which is way different.
Way
Yes,
different.
completely.
That being said, Abby, you're on some medications now.
Yeah, which have helped a lot. I don't remember what my so I started like a sleeping medication. It's kind of like an older antidepressant, but it helps with OCD too. And I think it's been helping a lot with some of the urges of doing some things. And I want to say the intrusive thoughts, but it's kind of hard to tell
because
just
you started another medication right around the
Yeah.
same time, and
well, and I still have some intrusive thoughts. Like, it's not like they're gone, and like I really doubt a medication can make those just like go away.
I dare say normal, and I'm going to put that in big quotation marks, normal people have intrusive thoughts. They just don't have intrusive thoughts that won't go away, and that they can't find answers to, either solutions to.
right. Or the solutions make sense, like they think about something different. But are you afforded that? No. You can't just think of something different in order to not think about this terrible thing, right?
Yeah,
it's not a choice
Great.
per se.
It is,
right?
It is not.
And that's why I think like a word, like it has to be just one word that I repeat. Like it can't be just because like it's nothing else can intercept that.
Right.
I just have to focus on a couple syllables.
And to be fair, that one word probably wouldn't work at all had you not had some medication support.
Yes, I agree, because it's allowed that, like, since the urges have kind of not been as bad, it allows me to kind of have that gap of time to be able to, I guess, challenge the thought and be able to be kind of curious about it, and which has helped me a lot and helped my anxiety to be curious about it and challenging my thoughts instead of just letting them, I guess, take over.
Yeah. And we kind of started like with the surface issues, didn't we, when you were younger, like 13, 14?
Yeah.
We started with like, we did like a full thing. You were diagnosed with anxiety and depression, right?
Yeah.
And you started taking like anxiety and depression meds. How did those do for you?
They didn't work. I had horrible reactions to antidepressants. They never worked for anything. 'Cause like, I don't think depression and anxiety wasn't the root of the problem. The root of the problem was my OCD and the borderline personality disorder, because like the mood swings and the urges and the intrusive thoughts is what was just taking over my life.
Right. And because you weren't exhibiting obvious OCD behaviors, it was not something that like people caught onto. Even, I mean, that was like it was probably like a 17-page questionnaire, plus you spent 2 days being evaluated by those people, like in 4-hour sessions. And they didn't catch on, right? And I think a lot of it too is because like, well, masking comes a lot with ADHD, and you just learn to kind of like mask behaviors, and then you would like do slightly different behaviors, and you didn't realize yourself until you got older and more reflective on things.
Well,
that,
and
like,
I was
these were problems.
questioned too. I've been questioned throughout my life whether or not I've had autism, and through some of the research I've done, there is so many overlaps in OCD and autism, like so many overlaps.
Right. And you can't cure either one of them. Like you can't cure autism. You can't. So it doesn't matter if it's either or at this point.
No, it doesn't really matter. But
the quality of your life has changed since you started taking some medications. And so like there is some benefit to like looking at yourself and wondering, and then having conversations with doctors about these things, because you can have a better quality of life. And I think you really like your quality of life has changed immensely.
I think the medication that has helped the most is I'm on Abilify, which is for my like mood swings and stuff like that. And that has helped. So like I wake up in the morning and I don't forget to take it, because like I feel like I can actually handle myself when I take it. Because when I don't take it, it's just mood swings, and it's just like I can't even do anything with myself, because I just go into a mood swing and it's out of control. And it is.
I mean, and it's out of control. And then like, because she is aware that she's having these mood swings, like then the panic rises, and then she has a full-on panic attack because she can't stop herself from losing her shit over the littlest thing, because her OCD is also spiraling, because like heavy duty emotion will trigger an OCD sort of like an obsession event, right? And then you have to have a compulsion thing. But then like sometimes the things that you need to like soothe the obsession part of the OCD, the compulsion, is like outrageous, and you're like, I
Mhm.
can't do that. Like that would be crazy.
Yeah.
You're like,
Exactly.
that would be crazy.
Exactly.
And so then a panic attack because you're like stressing out about whether or not you're
Mhm.
crazy.
Yes, exactly. So
I only know this because I've seen it happen in the span of 2.5 minutes.
yeah.
Like I have
With
watched
me,
the whole
I
thing.
can relate to that for a completely different reason. As a recovering abuser, that's the best thing I can come up with for what I'm about to describe. When I would be unreasonably angry with my ex-wife or my children and be verbally or psychologically abusing them, in that moment there was two of me.
Mhm.
There was the guy that was screaming in their face, blocking them so they couldn't leave the room, saying terrible, nasty, awful, dastardly things. And then there was this guy, the one you're sitting here talking to right now, saying, "The fuck? Stop, Tate!
Mhm.
What are you doing? Why are you doing it? Why are you saying that?" But they could never hear each other. But they were both inside of here. It's a very, very strange experience. And when you described that, I
I
went,
really relate to
chills.
that so much.
chills.
Like when you said that, I completely relate, and I think
Yeah.
that's called splitting in the borderline personality disorder.
Is it? Maybe I do
Yeah.
have a touch of that somewhere. I need to do some more investigating.
So
Men are
BPD
categorically not diagnosed with borderline personality.
Well,
disorder.
and sometimes too, trauma can be a really big cause of borderline. I mean, I don't think it's confirmed or anything of how borderline personality disorder becomes about, but I'm a true believer that trauma has a lot to do with it.
Or maybe you're
because-
like genetically disposed to
Well,
it, and then
because
a
if
trauma
you-
event makes it happen.
It's a personality disorder. So pretty much, I think the trauma throughout my life has made it so that my personality has had a hard time developing. It hasn't gotten the chance to develop because I've been masking for so long and like kind of not living a life that like I'm not really aware of, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, that does.
Or maybe a life that you're not able to be intentional with,
Yes,
which is something we talk
exactly.
about a
Like,
lot
it's-
on this
it's
channel.
really-
It's living intentionally.
It's really hard to explain, like, and yeah, but I agree with that.
like you can't be intentional with it. Just kind of like it happens
Mhm.
around you,
Yeah.
and you're like constantly just trying to manifest or make yourself
Like, I
into
just
what
don't
needs to
feel like
happen.
I fit in my own body almost. Like, I don't have a personality. It's like me trying to find a personality and fit in. Like, there's so many versions of
They
myself.
don't want to see
feels
your
like.
tail. You're a beautiful cat, but really.
I would say that's what it comes down to, is just the different feeling, like the different versions of myself is the borderline personality disorder. And I think that can really be caused by trauma.
He's we're fostering a new kitty.
Oh,
Two of
They
them,
are
and
not-
this one
they are
this
not
one wants to join the stream.
that is Ashes. If you see the white one in the background, that'll be Miracles. They do not like each other. They do come from the same household, but I think that their owner, who is in leukemia treatment, that's why I'm caring for these. She's having leukemia treatment. I don't think she realizes that these cats are not bonded pair. They tolerate each other with aggression, but they are not a bonded pair.
not friends.
We can't relate to that.
Yeah. But yeah,
As mother
they're-
and daughter, we don't know what it's like to be bonded to each other with aggression.
It's so fun to watch them. So yeah, they're great cats. I'll have them for another 2 or 3 weeks till she's done with her treatments or whatever, and they can go back home.
That's Richard likes to foster cats because he can't really do it on his own, but he's part of a program that'll help like pay for all the things so long as he can just be the space provided
Yeah.
for, which I think is
provide the
really
space.
cool,
I have
right?
to provide a
Really, really
space for myself, and it helps me stay responsible and provide the space for myself. But like that case of litter that's right there in the background, that came from them. I didn't. That's probably $40, $50 for that 4-pack of litter.
Mhm.
And these cats will go through that in probably 2 weeks. I can't
Yeah.
afford that for on a pet of my own, but I can put out my energy to feed them and take care of them and take them to appointments and interview people that may be prospective homes. Or in this case, I won't be doing that because they'll be going back to their own forever home. This is a temporary care position, but we're also assisting with getting them vaccinated and neutered
Mhm.
One cat was vaccinated, the other cat was neutered. Now both cats are vaccinated and both cats are neutered. So when she gets them back, she'll be in a better position than she was in before. So
Aw. That's good.
Animals are good for you. They release
Oh.
endorphins, I'm pretty sure, when you pet them.
100% agree with that. I am, what did I say last week, Keri? I am better
Oh yeah.
when I have foster cats here. I'm a better human. I'm better at life. I do my chores better. I get up in the morning and I have my routines that I go through. I feed the cats, I water the cats, I clean the litter boxes. I do whatever I do in whatever order I do it, but I have things to do. When I don't hear, I just get up, I sit around, do nothing. Should I start doing that? I don't really feel like doing that today. And then nothing gets done. I went a week without doing dishes. That's not like me. I need
absolutely agree.
There's something in my life makes a difference. So,
No, I absolutely agree. My dog definitely makes the difference. For sure.
My dog sometimes makes a difference.
Oh yeah, for sure too. Like, because she jumps on my bed. My dog won't jump on my bed, but her dog will, and will come check on me sometimes.
how fun.
When she's upset. When she's upset and she's crying, my dog will come up to her. Whereas her dog, even though her dog is supposed to be an emotional support dog, will run away from her when she's being emotional.
Which is, I don't know. Sometimes
That's tough love. It's tough love.
It's fear. It's fear. She's just afraid of her.
Well,
I don't know what to do. I'm out of
I
here.
think my dog, because I feel like my dog is like my anxiety in dog form. Like, she chases people away from me. She tries to bite them, and
She doesn't help with Abby's social anxiety at all.
yeah, no, not at all.
She makes it worse.
Not at all.
But that's
But
okay.
that's
She's just protecting her person, and that's all right too.
Yeah, but
'Cause
she's
that
fluffy
companionship
and
is
cuddly.
key. Mhm.
Yes, she knows who her mom is.
Yes. Jimmy C says that his dog makes a difference in the color of the lawn.
Yes.
Greener,
Yes.
greener or browner, sir. Greener or browner.
Well,
It's a good thing we know how.
Fun stuff. Fun stuff.
Yeah.
So,
this
when
is
might
what we
this
wanted
all
to-
be happening? I mean, this is exciting news, but when are we? I mean, it's a big step to take, and trust me, I've jumped in on a couple of things that somebody just threw at me.
Well, I mean, her mom is kind of pushy,
Mm-hmm.
and that helps.
Yeah, it does help. She's probably gonna be helping.
Well,
me
sometimes
with
I need pushing and prodding too. I mean, that's there's. I think we all do from time to time. It's nice to have another human to support you.
But I think Abby's reached a point in her life and her awareness and like
healing and
recovery, that, and it's going to be ongoing. There's going to be ups and downs. And I think that she just wants to be able to help other people. And I think, like, as a mom, some of the things that I did not knowing that they were useful turned out to be useful in the long run. And I think and especially like being a parent of somebody who is really suffering, it makes it really hard to know what it is that you can do for them. And I think that we've reached a point too where we can actually really unpack that and really unpack what was helpful and what wasn't helpful in a way that could be useful for other people. Are you pointing to the white cat now?
The other cat, if you look right there, you can see his ear.
Yes, is he
there.
sleeping in his little bed?
He's sleeping in the bed, but he's white. He's 100% white, so he's just blended right in with it. Anyway, yes, he's really there. You can kind of see his tail on this end too, but
I think I
mostly
kind
you
of
could just
saw
see
him
his-
move a little bit.
Yeah.
That's his ear right there.
This
He's
is
never
the cat
far.
screen.
He's never far behind me. He's just not. That one. This one here comes and sees me every so often, checks on me, but that cat is my shadow. If I were to get up and walk across this room, he'll get up off of there and he'll start following me wherever I go.
Little
And
white
this morning, he was mad at Ashes and punished him all morning, including in the litter box. It was so bad because Ashes got on the bed first last night and laid down up towards my head where Miracles likes to lay. Miracles couldn't lay there. So not only did he boycott the entire bed, But when we got up this morning and started moving around, he took right off after this one and started chasing him around the house. Like I said, he was in the litter box trying to go to the bathroom. Nope. Whap, whap, whap.
That's a lot like you and your brother.
Yeah.
My phone was in my room, or I would have gotten video of it because it was fucking hilarious. At first I didn't know he was in there, and I just heard this batting sign. Turn around, the litter box is in my living room. It's right behind me. You can't see it right now, but anyway, it's right there. It's all enclosed, and here he is on the top, and he's like prowling around the opening, and then all of a sudden, wow, inside, and then I see Ashes. We're trying to push his head out the front, but there's a door in the front that it can push out of and a hole in the top they can go out of. But then he jumped down and block him from being able to go out there. Oh, I wish I could have got it on video.
You will stay in there with your Stinky and you will like it.
They are not friends. They are not friends.
Yep. Kind of like you and your brother. Fair.
Yep.
Fair.
You'll have that sometimes.
You'll have that sometimes. So so that's kind of, we're not really sure when we're going to start it. Abby's been working on taking some pictures because she knows I'm going to make thumbnails for all of our episodes.
Right.
And so that's been that's a journey in and of itself, right? Is to kind of get to the point where you're ready to self-advertise, I think. But I think we might do a couple more episodes on my channel here, and then we want to start her own channel, and we'll kind of move those things over. But this was kind of like her launch, or her unveiling, if you will, to kind of talk about our intentions.
I'm definitely excited about the possibilities, for sure.
Yeah.
Which is kind of, I think, just being on camera is a little hard for me with just the personality disorder, because it's kind of hard to like I have a hard time even just taking pictures of myself. Like, it's hard to feel comfortable in myself. So I think in doing this, it'll help me a lot too with my confidence and just being more comfortable in myself.
Robbie says, "Yay, Abby!"
Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of like phase 2. Like, she's worked on herself enough that this will also help her continue to work on herself, and then also she can put something forth into the world that could potentially assist other people in their journey, or at least, like you said, like you guys were able to really find like that happens to me sort of
where things cross over, and
where you feel less alone, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. When I was 3 years ago, almost 4 now, when I turned on my computer and it came on, and I got mad because my computer came on when I turned it on, I realized something was wrong with me. And that's what started my journey, but I didn't get to where I am now right away. I didn't even gain my independence back for another 2 years before I even believed that it was possible for me to be an independent, functioning human being. I still struggle with that sometimes, but it is what it is. Making the leap, I wouldn't have done it 3 years ago. I just would have said I can't.
And, I think we hear a lot of horror stories about the online community can get pretty nasty, but
it can be an extremely toxic community.
But I think when you curate it carefully, as we kind of have here and in other spaces too, there's very few. I mean,
I like to look at things for what it is, and like the nasty people, nastiness, like, is just ignorance and people just not understanding what it simply is.
Yeah, and you could put out a bunch of TikToks, but like you might get accused of being attention and like all these things. The beauty of like YouTube is you really kind of grow a lot slower. And you have this opportunity to have a long form conversation so that people can really understand and like have to commit to watching the whole thing in order to even find anything. First of all, and you have a lot more control over your comments, and you have a lot more control over like
you can limit who can be in the live chat. Now, we don't have any problems here, and I doubt we ever would, especially with Auntie showing up from time to time. Auntie's one of the best mods out there. And I don't worry about those kind of goony people getting in here because they'll be gone before they get too very far in. So
Mhm.
it's I don't worry about that, and you know, I encourage you to find people like that, you know, to follow you and be mods for you, because then you don't have to exert as much mental control over your channel and your
Mhm.
chat. You can still let it be open to everybody and have that level of protection. But if you don't, then you need to limit it in your chat. You'll need to go to a subscribers only mode or a members only.
Mhm.
Members only is harder to do because you got to get way further into the YouTube thing for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you got to
But
get 500
but
subscribers.
doing subscriber mode is available to everyone, and that
Yep.
will cut down on a lot of that
Because
because
Mhm.
you can
most
change
people
the
who are
time.
assholes aren't that committed to being a
Mhm.
subscriber for 24 hours before they start
Yeah,
being
or
assholes.
whatever
Mhm.
limit you set. You can have it as little as a minute or as long as a day or a
Mm.
week. It's up to you. So, but just bear those things in mind as you start the transition to your channel. That, you know, if there's people that have been there and you've given them a wrench and they've been helpful and gotten you through, invite them to come with you, because a lot of them will. And there's a lot
Well,
as
and
there
we
are
will
a lot
invite
of
people from our community over to like help with some of that stuff too,
Mhm.
so
Yeah.
that she'll have some support.
Yeah.
And that was another reason why I wanted to introduce her here. You know, we consistently have, you know, even though we only have a few people in the chat, we consistently have a handful, you know, half dozen
Mhm.
people that are listening.
Right.
You know, so hi
and
grandma.
everything starts somewhere. Yes. Hi,
Is
half
she
dozen listeners. We
watching?
love you all. You know.
She watches
So-
all our shows,
Oh,
by the
really?
way. Yeah, she does. She just doesn't ever chat.
Mm.
So hi grandma. I found this out the other day.
But yeah, I agree. This is, I feel like, a good start. This is for just even getting comfortable with like talking on camera and stuff.
Mhm. I would say that if you were in a mood to join informally from time to time, please do. I'm sure
Yeah.
your thoughts would fit into what we're doing in the
Mhm.
lollydabbing through books. And I know you're smart enough to do it because you got that thing
Mhm.
right there for a mom.
Yeah.
So
I don't know, except we
This
both
shit's
did
looking- where?
we both did IQ tests the other day, and her IQ is actually bigger than mine. So
Doesn't surprise me.
yeah.
IQ
surprise
tests are
me.
shams. They're shams.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you
They're
have a really high IQ
guidelines.
like me, then they're not. They're not.
They're-
They're just.
Always been a guideline.
And
Intelligence
too.
quotient. What is the
Yeah.
definition of the word quotient?
An estimation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Thank you.
I mean, just
It's
off.
What it's called tells you it is not science.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fair. Fair. Well, we are coming up on the hour. So,
We
Abby,
are.
did you have any final? We are. We're at 52 minutes.
great hour.
Do you have any final thoughts that you just kind of want to put out into the world about, I don't know, just where you're at right now? And I mean, we kind of talked about it, but did we miss anything? Is there anything that you want to just kind of throw out into the world and
No,
tell people?
I think we covered a lot, and I don't know, it was fun being here. I enjoyed it. It was fun.
Yeah, it was great for me. Gave me chills a couple times. That's pretty cool. So,
Mhm.
you know, for the right reasons, not because I was scared, but because I saw places were overlapped. I learned new things.
Mhm.
And as dumb and weird and as mean as I can be, I do love to learn.
Mhm. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
And you're not dumb, or don't talk about my friend like that, Richard.
What?
I said, you're not dumb. Don't talk about my friend
I
like
didn't say I
that.
was dumb.
Well, you did say as dumb or as mean as you could be, and I just wanted to point out you're not any of those things.
Well,
He's
okay. What I meant.
likes to
Let me
think he's-
define dumb. Meaning I've done something that is not edifying or good for me or the people around me. That's dumb.
Okay, fair.
Not
Fair.
an intelligence thing. I am not a stupid or dumb person.
okay, fair. Fair. Oh, look,
Hey,
Artificial
LG,
boundary.
welcome. Man, if you want something different, catch something on that guy's channel. If somebody could throw his link for me, I would really appreciate that because I suck ass at it.
yeah, it took you like 25 minutes earlier.
Yeah, it is not going to be your norm. It is going to be satire. It's going to be in your face. It's going to be all kinds of crappy stuff, but it is amazing social information. Thank you, Allie. We love you. Super
Allie.
deal. But yeah, so definitely. It's like I said, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Look at that. Much. Jimmy C is on
yep,
it.
On it.
On
it. But yeah, it's very different. It's not for everybody. And don't feel guilty if you have to turn it off. But if you want different social commentary, and especially pay attention to the backgrounds when he's doing the backgrounds, they're the best part.
She is my daughter. She can't help but be slightly off colored. she might look sweet and innocent, but again, she is still my daughter, y'all. Yeah. She is still my daughter, and she is still.
When you look sweet and innocent like me, then you know.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
your eye is going to hurt if you keep doing that, Keri.
But squinting to see where I can
squinting too hard, yes.
looking for the innocence.
Looking for the cute.
Looking for the cute that is Uncle Dude. Yeah, a little bit.
Oh my goodness. I don't take myself too seriously.
Yeah, well, that's how we like it around here. Mm-hmm. I think that's another great thing that will be fun is that, you know, you've dealt with a lot, but also, Abby, you have a pretty good sense of humor when it nowadays, maybe not so much, you know, a year ago, but now you have a pretty good sense of humor about what you deal with on a regular basis. Because I mean, as you heard, if you guys go back and you listen to the beginning of the show, some of the stuff that she was describing, like that is not fun. That is not fun. What your brain goes through, but we've been able to find the fun and the irony and the sort of entertainment, if you will, from the thing that is Abby's brain.
It's not as scary and overpowering when you make it fun.
Take some of the power away. Absolutely right. I agree 100%. What a great show. Thank you for coming on, Abby. This has been amazing. Thanks, amazing.
It's really great having you, honey. Yeah. I enjoyed it. And
good side quest.
It was a good side quest, yeah. And I think that I'm looking forward to working with you in the future and doing our own show.
I know. I'm excited.
I'll be there watching.
All right.
I'll try and make good Robbie comments like Robbie does, but probably not near as good because he's better than I am for that word stuff. You know, I'm hoping for one more chat summary before we get out of here.
I was kind of hoping for one more chat summary too. Let's show this one that he did earlier.
The outro.
Yeah. Chat summary. Grasshoppers run wild, canines have digestive issues, and bufferin brand aspirin is consumed. This is a non-AI generated summry, just so you know.
Yep. Robbie is
all right, we'll pull up this outro. We'll go ahead and do this.
We took a ride on this talk show.
We did. We took a ride on this chat show. Thank you, Abby, for coming. Good night, everybody.
Linger, but we gotta go. Voices faded with the moon's call. Laughter echoed down the hall. Thoughts that flew like paper dolls. Wrap it up and let it fall. Turn the volume down low, my friends. This chatter's come to an end. Till we gather again and again. Let these moments extend. In the quiet, hear the clock tick tock. Words won't stop, but we'll walk the walk. Dream a little till the next talk. Out of time, let's unlock. Turn the volume down low, my friends. This chatter's come to an end. Till we gather again and again. Let these moments extend. In the quiet, hear the clock tick tock. Words won't stop, but we'll walk the walk. Dream a little till the next talk. Out of time, let's unlock. Turn the volume down low, my friends. This chatter's come to an end. lines. Now we drift on the book of fine. Page by page until we bind. Sweet goodbyes, let's unwind.